Economic growth. The world's poorest countries have the fastest rates of GDP growth per person. In the 1960s, a handful of rich countries saw their economies improve the fastest, averaging more than 4% a year, a period of post-war prosperity. But it couldn't continue. The performance plateaued in the 80s, 90s, and the early part of the last decade. Since the global financial crisis, there's been almost no growth at all. Middle-income countries initially saw median growth rates improve, but then plummet due to high debt and poor governance. They bounced back in the 90s, soared, and then naturally retreated to strong but not supersized growth. But the most impressive progress is by the roughly 60 poorest countries. After years of lackluster performance, their median GDP growth per person has picked up. Since the financial crisis, it's been 3%, the highest in the world, and about the pace of middle-income countries when they boomed. The middle-income countries' slower growth is typical after a period of strong performance, like the West in the 1960s. For advanced economies, near-zero growth is a pressing problem. But for the poorest countries, it is essential that strong institutions ensure the growth is sustainable, or it may sputter, as it did for middle-income countries decades ago.